Malik Ackerman.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Never sure how to pronounce it.
And they have guests all the time. Like one of the first ones I watched.
Megan Mullally.
Yeah.
Another big one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I had Keegan-Michael Key was in the first one I watched. He was a base commander. He's like, you guys won me over, and so much so that you'll never see me again. Of course, that's the show is a comedy, by the way.
The show is very much a comedy. It's ridiculous. And one of the newer episodes that I've seen recently that I really liked featured Fart Copter.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, that was a great episode.
The thing is, I recently watched Hell Baby, which has a lot of the same actors, and didn't think as much of it. And what Children's Hospital does right, and this doesn't make any sense because I binge watched them, so I basically watched like a movie of Children's Hospital. But the Hell Baby seemed like it could have been broken up into 10-minute episodes and made like an ongoing type thing, and it would have been funny. However, sometimes when you watch these things for an hour and a half, it's just like a sketch that's gone on and on. And at least one thing about Children's Hospital, each episode kind of is a mini episode. It's self-contained. Yeah. There's a new storyline.
Well, I like the way that they do that with the Adult Swim stuff on Cartoon Network, which is where they air this on actual broadcast TV. Right. It's available in various other formats, I'm sure. But they have a lot of those 15-minute shows. And, of course, of the 15-minute show, you have like about 10 minutes of real content there, and you can get through them pretty fast, and it's just joke.
Right.
It's good stuff, real good stuff. So I understand that you're telling me that you checked out a new Ricky Gervais project called Derek recently.
Yeah, that's on Netflix. It's one of their original shows. He plays kind of an autistic guy that works in an elderly care center. Didn't really appeal to me. I watched probably about the first 15 minutes, and I'm a big fan of Ricky Gervais. I like that uncomfortable type humor that he has.
You just don't like autistic people?
It was mostly the old people.
Oh,
they kind of smell a little bit. Now, obviously, I couldn't smell them through Netflix, but I can imagine the smell. But I do like the little people. So, Life's Too Short is something I liked. I did like his version of The Office. Extras is fantastic. This I didn't care for. I don't know. Maybe just I'm too familiar with Ricky, and I call him Ricky. Rick. Yeah. We go back. I call him Rick.
The
Rickster, and I just didn't buy off on him being this kind of autistic character. I can see the charm in it, but it just didn't grab me.
Interesting. Yeah, that's one I want to check out. I was kind of interested to know how. We both know that Ricky Gervais playing the kind of awkward character like he did in The Office, that's kind of one of his things, you know. But doing that as an autistic person, would it still be entertaining, or would it be just kind of weird? I don't know.
Yeah, it's he can't really make fun of the character, that wouldn't be politically correct. So he has to play it, kind of close to the chest, and he can't quite go over the top like he did with like the David character from The Office.
But there's been a lot of, there's been some really good portrayals of autism, on film and TV. Dustin Hoffman in Rain Man comes to mind. He was entertaining and funny, but yet it seemed real to the.
He was good with the number stuff, so that added an extra element to it. He was good at poker or at blackjack, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he was. That was his thing. He was in the numbers.
He was a clear winner.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and then Diane Kruger plays someone with Asperger's syndrome, similar, it's autism to my understanding. And on the Bridge, which I've talked about before, she does a fantastic job. So, maybe it's a new thing. Yeah, I don't know.
Somewhere on the spectrum, definitely, though.
Yeah. Well, I'm a big follower of the network TV. I'm always looking for something worth watching there. Don't always find it. But one show that I've enjoyed in the past that just came back recently was Revolution on NBC. I think it's moved to Wednesday nights if you're interested in checking that out. It's just started a new season, and we're three episodes in, I believe. And it's, I liked it. I like the original season. This season's a little weird. It's almost like turning into kind of a... You remember that show Jericho? That was on, I believe, I think it was CBS or something. It was another... It was on a few years ago. Skeet Ulrich, I believe, was the main character.
Good old Skeet.
And it's kind of a post-apocalyptic, survival thing. And that's kind of what revolution is. And the concept of revolution is one night, all the power on the entire planet goes away. And it just basically turns American, not just American, but worldwide civilization on its head. And the first season was about kind of, explaining why the power went off and stuff. Well, now we know why that happened. There's some excitement at the end of the first season, kind of brought all that to a head. And now we're into the next season, and it's kind of turning into this Jericho thing where there's the United States government's trying to get back together. It's fighting militias, and there's been nuclear explosions, and it's just changed a little bit for me. I don't know. I would still recommend checking it out if you're into that, but you're definitely going to want to watch the first season.
Well, I heard it got a little more violent this season. Is that true?
It's pretty violent, yeah. They have never been afraid to kill people off. In the first season, several of the main characters die off.
I watched the first season only. Are they still using swords and everything? Are there's
a lot of sword play still, because there isn't heavy industry to make weapons and ammo, but there's plenty of gunfire and things, but there's still a lot of sword play. And it was created, just for the background, it's created by Eric Kripke and produced by J.J. Abrams, Bad Robot Productions. So it's got the Lost connection there. And, stars Billy Burke, which you might know, played Glinda, the Good Witch, in Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, Wizard of Oz. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, 1939. He looks really good now. And, for being that old. Plus, he was in some Twilight movies.
And he was a woman previously, apparently.
I just took a different kind of,
Not there's anything wrong with that. Just to be clear, I don't want to get into all that.
Different approach to the role. Was an attractive woman as well. But he was in the Twilight movies, so you might know him from that. Tracy Spiridakos. Not just very attractive.
Not very attractive.
No, she is. I'm sorry. I'm not very familiar with her previous work. She's done some TV work.
Oh, okay.
But she's very attractive. Elizabeth Mitchell plays a major role in it. You might know her from Lost. Or she was also a star of that V reboot that came out on ABC years ago.
I like her.
And Giancarlo Esposito, who is amazing in everything he does.
Right. He was great in Breaking Bad.
Oh, especially when he had the hole in his head. That was a good...
Hermanos Polo.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a show that, you've seen the first season, Vince. I'd recommend checking it out, but it is taking a little bit different turn.
All right. Tell me about this blues festival while I take care of something.
Oh, sure. Well, this weekend I attended the 18th Garvin Gate Blues Festival in Louisville, Kentucky, here locally in the Louisville neighborhood. It's the 18th one of these. I think they took a few years off and tried some different formats, and they've been back now for, 5 or 6 years or so probably. But I saw a great Chicago blues act, Lil Ed and the Blues Imperials, which was a lot of fun to see some live blues. And so if you're in the area and you want to support the local blues, it happens about every, I think it's the second October. The second weekend in October every year. So check it out next year. It was a great time this year. It's right down there by the Rudyard Kipling, if you're familiar with that. Mm-hmm. And we love the people down at the Rud, Ken and the whole gang down there.
Well, I know a lot of people get blues this time of year. It gets a little more cloudy, darker. It's darker at night. It's darker in the morning. So there's a lot of blues going around. So I can see that being an inspiration for something like this.
Yeah, well, and just for an update, if you haven't seen Lil Ed and the Blues Imperials for a while, apparently he's got the blues. Mm-hmm. He's got a woman that's been stepping out on him. He's really fighting the blues pretty heavily, from what I understand. So if you're out there, Lil Ed, hope you get over it soon, man. Hope things look up for you soon.
Speaking of Little Eds, remember we talked about Miley Cyrus, and she had like a guitarist that was a little person?
Yes.
I tried to research that, and I could not find the name of the guitarist. I looked everywhere, but apparently...
It's funny you mention that, because I did the same thing and didn't find his name either.
I think really think that's a problem. I really think that's a diss on these little people. Apparently she hangs around with a whole crew. I did find a clip from a German show where her whole band was little people.
Yeah, I mean, the last time I saw her live, it was like she was on the set of Time Bandits.
Yeah, I mean, is she trying to portray herself as like some kind of giant? Like, I'm a bigger star because I'm bigger than these people.
Well, I don't necessarily think that's what's going on. I mean, I think she,
They are at excellent twerk height, though. I mean, if she can twerk...
Oh, they're perfect twerk height. And they just, I love little people because they add a little something special to whatever you're doing.
Right,
really.
Whether it's the Wizard of Oz. Huh?
See? Yeah, they made a big point of that, yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So I did watch also an interview with Rob Delaney on Scarborough Country. It was kind of neat. It was a live broadcast over YouTube. I just happened to catch it. I was out on Google Plus of all things. I don't think I was like one of 3 people on Google Plus that night. I saw it was going on. I went to the YouTube and watched the live thing going on. It was neat. They had we might do this sometime. It was quite entertaining. You could actually ask questions live and type it in. And I got the opportunity to tweet Rob and the Scarborough Bros and ask about his beard and shirt, whether the shirt came with the beard, because it was, they were very complimentary. I was actually trying to be very nice. At first, they said, okay, here's a question from Twitter. Did that shirt come with that beard? Because he, it kind of looked like a lumberjack shirt and beard. So he was like, all right. But he's
do
like,
they do that? Do they seriously sell shirts that come with beards? I grow a beard all the time, and I've never gotten a shirt for it.
Well, I thought that's where you were getting most of your fashion wear.
No, I'm afraid not. I mean, it can come with this, nice turtleneck, but that's not actually attached right there.
Oh, okay.
So that probably threw you off a little bit.
No, I actually thought most of your shirts came with your beard. Well, I'm going to stop growing mine now because I thought I was in for some free shirts.
Well, I mean, I usually knit my shirts from my beard trimmings, so it kind of looks like a beard a little bit.
I thought most of your clothes were wood anyway.
No, just my
It's not rayon.
No, I am converting completely to rayon.
Listen to show. I believe it's episode 2, which would be episode somewhere around 9. I don't know.
Yeah, well,
it's a call back to another show.
Well, and it gets really confusing to do that when we don't know the numbers of them. But as many of you might know, that I am moving complete 100% rayon clothing,
made from wood pulp.
Yeah, because I like the idea of wearing wood.
I think we both did this last thing here. We listened to the How Did This Get Made podcast of Congo.
Yep, I did, and that's a movie that's very dear to my heart.
Yes,
and. Not only did I see that in the theater the Saturday that it opened, okay, because I was a big fan of the book.
Sure.
A big Michael Crichton fan in general.
Right.
Yeah. I saw the movie the weekend that it opened, and it was horrible. And if you were a fan of the book, you probably think the movie is horrible because it's absolutely wretched. And one thing I learned from the podcast was that the writer didn't read the source material, so that explains why.
That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, but anyway. So, yeah, the movie made hundreds of millions of dollars, so I'm not the only one who saw it on Saturday that it opened. Well, then turned around the next weekend and saw a double feature at the drive-in with Waterworld and Congo.
What an incredible combo.
Yeah. Not only did I see 2 of the worst movies ever made, but I saw one of them I'd seen a week before.
It's like visual diarrhea.
Yeah, it was bad. It actually reminded me that it's one of the worst Fridays I ever had in terms of...
Until this past Friday,
yeah.
I have to say, I'm a huge fan of How Did This Get Made. Jason was a call-in, and it to me, that kind of takes something away from the show.
Yeah, the ones where they have somebody not there or calling in via phone or Skype or whatever.
Yeah,
it's always got a little. It's the chemistry gets a little off every once.
Yeah, when they miss June, that is those are usually pretty bad. June has that kind of that unique take on it that the guys don't have, and you definitely miss that. And I don't know. I mean, it's good. It was a good show, I guess, but it doesn't live up to having the full cast there. That's for sure. Yeah,
I think they again, very watchable, or listenable, I should say, not watchable, listenable, but not one of the classics. Not one of the classics.
Nope.
But the movie is epically bad, and
it was certainly deserving to be on the podcast. That's for sure.
Yeah, but it's epically bad and not so.
You might hear the dog, the DTMMB Media dog. The official dog.
She's licking my neck. Hey,
yeah,
what's up?
Actually, it's a free dog with a beard, I believe. Man, she's licking the microphone.
Now licking the microphone. But anyway, we'll move on. Listen to all kinds of podcasts.
Several.
Yeah. Listen to a really interesting one, Jay Moore Stories, which I'm a fan of that one.
Yeah.
He had Stuart Copeland from the Police on there.
I'm a big Stuart Copeland fan, actually. Yeah, he's done a lot of stuff. I mean, he's known for the Police, but
just a super. If you haven't listened to More Stories, if you like Jay Moore, he does a great interview, and he's a funny guy, but he gets a lot of really serious content out in his interviews. It's very informative, and Copeland was an amazing guest, just an amazing guest.